Hi, I'm Raquel, and this is Law Librarian Plans. Today I will be setting up my Catchall planner for the week of October 20th. Let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the so usually if you follow me, I usually put dots on 3 days, but I think I'm going to actually put dots. Actually, no, that works out perfectly. The dots happen to be on the dates that they have to be. And I wanted to do kind of a, not kind of, a harvest theme. So I am picking out these stickers. This is the Kell Plan Fall Icons Volume 2. I think there's a Volume 3 out now, or maybe even a Volume 4. I'm not sure. Might still be available. This is the one I'm going to use, however. So let me get started with some deco. There's also there's a tiny boo in here as well. I don't know. This is the closest I came to harvest, and that was the theme I wanted. So we're gonna pretend that this is the harvest theme, whether it's perfect or not, and we'll get going. So I would love to put that truck on that side. So let me see if I can get it off the page. Very good. And then we're gonna do functionality on the right side before we continue decorating. I know that this box is not a functional box. This is a decorative box for me. So there we go. All right. So in this book, we have, oh, interesting. I didn't realize there were two pages. For some reason in my head, I thought there was only one page of deco stickers. So this book has functional boxes. And then, so basically 1, 2, 3, and then 2 pages of decorative elements. And so everything combines, which is great. Or not combines, everything goes together well. So we're going to start with the red dots. And sorry if you can't see that. I'm going to try to keep myself within frame. I'm not very good at that with the sticker book. I usually, the page is not a problem. So we're going to start with dots on Monday. And I use dots on Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday is usually a busy day. Monday is usually a busy day, so I like the dots there. And Thursday just because I like them staggered. It's not a functionality thing. And then I use boxes in the other spots, and then deco all around. So Monday is definitely going to be a very busy day. I have a few projects that I sort of had to put aside this week to work on one big project that was due. So I finished that and submitted that. Actually, 2 big projects. One that I submitted on Tuesday, and then the other big project that I had started working on a couple weeks ago and now was due today, and that has been submitted as well. So hooray for me. But I'm also now, this is actually my Catchall planner. I have a lot of things to do around the house before my my minor surgery. So I want to make sure that I get those things done, and so forth and so on. And otherwise a pretty regular week, I think. Go to work, come back, do the things. So the way that I use this planner, for those of you new to my channel, the right side is usually where I put things that have to happen that day. Not usually, that's where I put things that have to happen that day. And in my personal life, there's very little that has to happen on a specific day. It just, it's just my husband and I. So chores can happen when they happen. They get done when they get done. And no big deal. Nobody cares. He doesn't care. I don't care. So it works out pretty well. Then on the left side is where I put my to-do lists. and my trackers. So that's how I use this. And this is sort of an overall view of everything. So for example, in not next week, but the following week on Tuesday, I have a work event. So I would put my work event here because it's after hours. So it impacts when I'm going to be home. That day I will not be cooking dinner, that sort of thing. So that's how I use this. And then I, put my trackers, health trackers. I put in here about social media. Just a reminder, I have to prepare my social media, or rather prepare my planners for the next week. And if I'm going to film, what I'm going to film and so forth. So that's how I use this particular planner. And it works really well for me. I will say, I've been using, a dashboard for personal stuff now for 3 years. And I'm pretty much settled, and this is my planner piece for personal stuff. So there you have it. So let's get this done. So we put one there. Then I'm going to see if I find some, oh, there's a good square box. Okay, that's good. I like square boxes, but I like this one. I like this cutie one with the pumpkins, although it's a Halloween one. This does not match. That's not really orange. That's more of a yellow, but it's not that yellow. So I guess I'm going to use this one. So we'll use this one here. And I just like to vary the boxes. That's all. There's no particular advantage or disadvantage. These are monthly boxes. So if I were doing a monthly spread, these would be useful. But no advantage or disadvantage, with any of them. And then here I'm going to put 2 boxes. Usually I like to split up, on Saturday. It's a pretty busy day for me. I'm usually, errands and chores and meal planning and meal prepping, but mostly meal planning and so forth. So we'll get that there. And this is where I look. This is when I look at, actually grocery shop. I meal plan partially for the next week on Saturday, and then I finish that up on Monday. So I meal plan on Saturday for anything I have to buy from the grocery store. And then if I'm doing HelloFresh, then on Monday I have to decide what I'm going to order for that week. So that's how that plays out. Let's see. I have one more box. I'm going to need a box in here. And I used the one bigger box that I had in that color. So I'll just put green because it goes. Or maybe even... Oh, I'm going to put that cutie dog. I think that's perfect. The cute dog over here. And I still have plenty of boxes, so I can probably do one vertical spread with this set at a later date. So, all right, that looks good. So let's do the functionality on the left-hand side. And again, let's look through here. That green box is too big. The long box that is part of this set. So it's on the 3rd page, I think. Let's see if the box is way too big. I have no use for that at all. So instead, I think I'm going to grab, and now that I'm paying attention to these double boxes, I'm probably going to use this double box. So I want my single box to be a color other than orange. So I think I'm going to stick with, I'm going to do a plain one because the decorative ones are great, but it gives me less space. And this is about as much a space as I need for my basic stuff. Like I said, I work outside the home Monday through Friday. So I have limited time to get things done on the weekend. And so I don't aim too high. I aim to whatever I can do. And so that works right there. So the next thing is, I said I was going to use a double box. And I'm realizing now that I don't have my habit trackers. So I'm going to have to go look for those. I apologize, but we'll do that at the end. We'll do those very much at the end. All right. So we're going to put one of those here. I want to do it here and put the habit trackers up there. All right. So this is a moment where, nope, I think I want it here. That's fine. I'm going to line it up with the one next to it this time. Sometimes I don't, but today I think that That makes sense. Okay, so that's lined up. I don't know if it's straight. It looks kind of straight. And then I need a call out box, and we have no green whatsoever in the boxes. So I might use a green box this time to call out the important thing for the week. Usually there's one thing that I have to pay attention to that I just put in a call out box on its own. So let's see. That works there. All right. And it's pretty straight. I'm kind of surprised because usually I have a lot of trouble getting things in place properly. So now let's do a little bit of decorating because we're done with the functional boxes. We still need the functional trackers, and I think I'm going to put those here, but I'm going to decorate a little bit at the bottom of this page to bring that harvest theme together. So I think I want this building with a dog. Again, just love the little dog. And then, ooh, except I kind of like that. But no, I like the little dog better. Oh, wait. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's even better. Okay, hang on. This is me being completely indecisive. I'm going to try to use this one, if I can get it off the page. Perfect. Just that harvest theme that I was going for. Okay. I love the blankets, the little blankets folded there and whatnot. I think I can still use that house though. I think I can use this. I just didn't want it on that corner since I'm going to put that there. So perhaps, I'm trying to think. Is the house away? Okay, I'm going to put the house aside for a minute. Then I think I want this one right here. Sorry, you probably can't see it because it's off camera for you. It's this one on the corner to sort of bookend, you know, similar to the other one. Also very harvesty. It's interesting. One of the things that I'm preparing, I'm actually going to be recording my preparing for 2026, my second video tomorrow, maybe today, tomorrow, on evaluating systems. And one of the things that I'm questioning is my trackers, because I'm tracking one thing and I'm tracking a few things in multiple places. And I think this may be the one that stays or not. So that's part of my process is going to be to think about, okay, this is what I'm doing. Does this make sense? That is crooked, isn't it? And I don't even know if I can move it or not. Is it working? Is it not working? Okay, could it work better? Is there something new I should do? All of those things. So if you'd like, join me. I think, I'm trying to think when that video is coming out. I'm not entirely sure, but it might come out before this one. But I will talk about how I evaluate my system and basically, you know, figuring out what's working, what's not working, what is new or should be new, and then figuring out how to make it all work. Because that's part of the battle, right? It's not just, okay, this doesn't work. Well, that's fine and good and all that. But then, you know, if it doesn't work, then what? And that's part of what I'm going to be doing in this planner series. I'm going to tell you about the then what alternatives, what options do I have? What options you would have if you were doing the same thing. See, now this doesn't fit. The little house doesn't fit. And I kind of wanted the house, but the house kind of looks very small compared to everything else. So maybe that's not a big deal. And maybe we put the little doggy with his plant instead of the house, and that completes our little harvesting. This still looks crooked, and I think it's not this sticker. It does look crooked all the way. So I'm getting thrown off by the fact that I'm trying to put it straight by the sticker itself, but it looks crooked if I do it that way. And so I want to make sure the lamp looks like it's not about to fall over and start a fire. So, and yeah, my mind went right there. I don't know why, but that's where it went. All right, so let's take this and we're going to make this straight, get that lamp to be quite straight. There we go. I think that's better. No, it's the same thing. I think I just moved that for no reason whatsoever. All right. Doggy's not going to fit. So what else can we put in there? The wheelbarrow is not going to fit. This basket is not going to fit. I could do one of these arrangements. I think I'm going to do this one since I have the same color scheme over here on that other page. So I'll just put one of these here, and that's going to be the end of my harvest space, kind of deco only. All right, so we're going to leave that there. Then we're going to go back and decorate on the right side of the page. Remember I said I decorate a little bit on the right side too, so we're going to do that. And we're going to put some more pumpkins here. So let me move the page so you can actually see where I'm grabbing things. All right, so we're going to grab these pumpkins right here. I'm gonna put them here. Not too much deco on this day because I want to have room to write other things that need to happen. So it's kind of an extension of that pumpkin. It's almost like the pumpkin truck dropped off some of the pumpkins. So maybe we'll make it look more like that by grabbing this one and putting it closer to the end like so. And then maybe grabbing that other one and putting it next to it. So it looks like there was a delivery that happened. Okay, there we go. We had our pumpkin delivery here. Then, let's see, we have 2 pages of decoration, as I said. So, I don't want it to be all pumpkins. I really don't. Put another doggy. Kind of obsessed with the dogs. Maybe this little doggy here can go over here. And then, now let's see, I don't like him there. Do I want him closer? I think I want him closer to the box. That way I have room on the side here to write, okay? Then we want some plants. And let's see, what plants do we have? I kind of like... I have more dogs. I could put so many dogs on this spread. Go a little bit banana cuckoo. And a lot of pumpkins too. So I think I'm going to put this one with the yellow. It has a lot of yellow and orange. So we're going to put this one over here. So not to have a doggy on top of another doggy. And that's pretty good. I think that gives me plenty of room to write. Although I think I want it within the lines. Or at least the decorative part within the lines. So this is a kind of a planner, in case you didn't know, and the paper is quite forgiving, especially if me when I'm just so indecisive. I move stickers a lot when I'm planning, so very, very forgiving there. All right, so then here I think I can put more pumpkins, perhaps. Maybe we'll see. We have another truck, but I don't want another truck on that page. This is huge. It's not going to fit. This one, I think, is a good one right here. So again, not putting one of the same thing on top of the other thing. And yes, this has some fruits, I think, or something. Something that reminded me of a pumpkin, but it's not a pumpkin. Okay. And then, let's see. I don't want any flowers there. I maybe put a doggy there. This cutie patootie here. So I have enough of the bigger decorative stickers that when I do a vertical layout with these stickers, I'm going to have more than enough for another decorative elements, that is. Then here, did I see some blankets? The blankets are more orangey and whatnot. But there's a yellow one. Or I might not put anything there. I think I'm going to leave that one alone. And then I'm going to put this one all the way in the top next to our box. And in the same box with our dots. All right, that works. And then all that's left now is to find our, let me think, trackers. Because I don't have trackers in here. So I'm going to go grab those very quickly. And then we'll get the trackers down on the page and we will add some icons and that will be done. So not a extensive one. It's actually a pretty quick one in my book. Yeah, about 20 minutes so far. So not bad at all. So I'm going to look through my book that has, this actually is very similar to that box that I didn't really like. Let's find some boxes. So some, not boxes, trackers. So I'm going to use these orange ones for sure. I think that orange is about as dead on as it gets. These trackers, by the way, for those of you who are new, are from Proud Sticker Designs. She has them in a ton of different colors, which is why I love them. Let's see. Ooh, I like that yellow. Ooh, that yellow is very similar too. So we're going to use 2 yellow ones. And they all come in all these colors, and also black and white. So if you wanted to, it's not the same thing. Let's see if there's another slightly darker yellow. That's too dark. And I think the next one is too light. It's funny, light yellow and yellow. Maybe the light yellow is better. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I like the darker yellow. Okay, so we're going to use the darker yellow. I'll put it back here like so. And I accumulated them over time because if you look at the full, at the non-sale price and every color, it's a lot of money. But they're not expensive individually. They're actually like $2 something, $3 maybe total. And it's a lot of trackers. You get a ton of trackers for your page. So I eventually have bought most of them. I realized not long ago that I was missing a few colors. So that's part of what I'm going to look at when I look at my setup for next year. Is like, where am I? What do I need to replenish in my supplies, in my materials? All right, this is okay. I don't have a really good way of swatching these. I don't want to use them up. I do have, oh, that's pretty close. Okay, so that's the one. There is a sheet that you can get that has all the colors listed. I'm going to show you that. So I just showed you 3, but she also sells the covers. This is the size of a mini, so technically you don't really need it, but I wanted it for the trackers. And here are all the color options. As you can see, there's, I don't even know how many. There's probably 30 of them, maybe more. So all the different options of her trackers. She also does this in boxes, and I think there's one other thing she does. Oh, the budget ones. She has budget stickers also come in these colors. So very easy to coordinate things. All right, so now I just have to prepare my trackers. And sometimes I put in a quote, sometimes I don't. It really depends on if I remember or I don't remember. But today I didn't remember, so we're not going to use a quote. And we're going to try to line these up. And I'm actually going to stand because I cannot see if it's straight or not. And last week they were so crooked, I had to redo every single one of them before I finished and used the spread. So I'm going to get this as nice and straight as possible and lined up as possible. So there's one. Then we're going to do the yellow. So picking up colors from the spread. And I do realize I have only one green box, but it goes because there's a lot of green here for the pumpkins and whatnot. So here's the yellow. Line that one up. And then the orange ones. And I track my medication, making sure I take my medication, making sure, you know, movement, learning, and drinking and sleeping. But more on changing my system for next year. You have to come and watch, or you may have already watched. And then last one goes right here. And we're going to put down some icons to finish this off. So for icons, I use 2 brands. I use Proud Sticker Designs, and I also use Planner Kate. I have a ton of the Planner Kate, so I'm intent of not buying any more until I need them. And then at that point, I will decide which brand I'm going to go with. But I'm going to do a meal plan sticker to remind me that my HelloFresh order. And let me tell you, it's silly, but it works because I look at this every morning. And last week, I didn't look at it on Monday morning. And guess what happened? I placed an order for delivery tomorrow, which I didn't really want. And so, because with my schedule and with surgery and whatnot, I didn't want to have a ton of extra food in the house, but it is what it is. So that's my meal plan. So, which is HelloFresh, really. And then this is my grocery order, grocery deliverer. So this is, I planned the previous Saturday what we're going to eat. And then if we're going to do HelloFresh, I ensure that I've checked it off that day. And then we need a trash and a recycling one because that is fun. There are no bills to pay next week, so no worries there. All right, and I have trash and recycling. So I take out the trash on Tuesday night. I put them at the top because I think that's where they're most visible to me. And then a recycling icon. The recycling can be taken out on Wednesday. Depends if it's raining on Tuesday night, then it goes out on Wednesday morning. So there we go. And I think this feels complete. So here you have it. This again is my catch-all planner for the week of October 20th. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.